Hello, my name is Sonia Brady, and my research proposal is on the effects of energy drink consumption on adolescents' test-taking performance. The media is saturated with stories of teens suffering adverse health effects, sometimes even death, as a result of consuming caffeine and other energy enhancers. Part of the problem is the ready availability of caffeine in the form of soft drinks and energy drinks to young people. Adolescents are consuming energy drinks on a semi-regular basis. From my own observations at the small school where I teach, I see teens drinking energy drinks almost daily, most times replacing breakfast with an energy drink. Energy drinks are marketed to teens as raising energy levels and improving concentration, but not much is said about the negative health effects. Energy drinks are just another soft drink or sports drink, despite the fact that energy drinks have several times the amount of caffeine per fluid ounce. Today's teenagers are also under more pressure to perform academically and achieve, which may lead them to try performance enhancers in the classroom, much like athletes do for enhanced athletic performance. The energy boost promised by these beverages might be desirable to students who are up late cramming for an exam or worried about the recall on the day of a test. Junior high and middle school students may not feel the full force of these academic pressures yet, but they are still susceptible to the influence of older students and likely to pick up on these students' habits. Young people think that drinking a high caffeine energy drink such as Red Bull or Monster has the same effects on their bodies as drinking a soft drink. Students see no harm in using energy drinks as academic aids or athletic performance enhancers. However, this should be a concern to parents, teachers, and other adults due to the reported negative health effects of energy drink consumption. There is no research out there on how these habits may be affecting their academic performance. So the question I ask is, does the consumption of energy drinks positively affect the test-taking performance of adolescents, ages 12 to 14, who do not claim to be regular consumers of high caffeine energy drinks? The purpose of this project is to determine whether the consumption of energy drinks benefits students in some way, such as improving their concentration and focus, which in turn would increase their test-taking performance. Very little research has been conducted on the effects of energy drink consumption on teens and adolescents, most of the research being on the effects to college students and adults. Seifert found that energy drinks are the fastest growing segment of the beverage industry, and half of that market is made up of adolescents and teens. Kumar, Park, and Onafrak reported that many countries are beginning to regulate the sale of energy drinks due to the high levels of caffeine. But in the U.S., energy drinks are classified as natural dietary supplements, and therefore they're not regulated by the government. This means that the safety of energy drinks is determined by the people who make them. There are numerous recorded negative health effects of consuming energy drinks. Minor effects would include dehydration, poor sleep, nervousness. More serious effects would be increased heart rate and blood pressure, seizures, cardiac dysrhythmia, and even death. Kumar suggests that adolescents are aware of these health risks, but they just choose to ignore them. Instead, they perceive energy drinks as cool, or they make them look more grown up. Turton stated that caffeine is the only psychoactive drug that is legally available to children. Miller reported that energy drink consumers might be more likely to take up smoking, drinking alcohol, and engaging in illicit prescription drug use. She also suggested that drinking energy drinks was positively associated with marijuana use, sexual risk-taking, fighting, seatbelt omission, and taking risk on a dare. The setting for my project is a mathematics classroom in a small school in Central Arkansas. The participants would be my 8th graders, who are 12 to 14 years in age, mostly Caucasian. And using the correlation designs method, I want to determine the association of performance, both behaviors and scores, on an exam before consuming an energy drink and after consuming an energy drink. I will conduct an in-class experiment over 2 non-sequential days, with each day beginning with a survey. The survey will ask the students about their habits regarding energy drinks. Any student who is a regular consumer will be excluded from the data due to the possibility of their being desensitized to the effects of caffeine. After the survey, the students will be given a short mathematics test, the results of which will be recorded and evaluated later. During the test, the teacher will be making notes about student behaviors and mannerisms. On day 2 of the experiment, the students will take another survey to call anyone that was a regular user. After the survey, which is about 25 minutes before the test, the teacher will give each student a can of Red Bull energy drink. As the students are taking the test on the second day of the experiment, the teacher will once again be noting behaviors such as nervousness, students being fidgety, sudden fatigue, etc. Scores from each test will be compared, and the notations about behaviors from the second test will be compared with notations from the first day. The behaviors are important in this experiment because my research question was if the energy drink consumption would positively affect the students' performance on the test. If the students are more nervous than usual or shaky or act like they have lack of focus, then I don't consider this a positive effect. The results from my study will be shared with the class, and if the results showed a negative effect, then I think the students should receive some more information on the dangers of consuming too much caffeine. If the results showed a positive effect, then I would encourage them to continue to study the health effects of high caffeine energy drinks. That has been my research proposal. Thank you for your time.